So, guys, this episode is about
Lame introduction. This episode is about pet peeves and not very annoying introductions. Let's get into it.
Fine, let's get into it. Okay.
Hello everyone and welcome to AurBata podcast, the last episode of season 1 with the Manas and my annoying co-host Nitya. Yo, what's up?
Hey, guys, and Manas doesn't exist again. So, he's just being a jerk as usual. Thanks. I guess I don't have to talk about my pet aversions because this conversation right here, this defines it all. This sums it up.
So guys, this episode is about pet peeves, our pet peeves.
So I always thought I was a pretty reasonable person, but now that I think about the pet aversions I have,
Sure.
you guys might feel otherwise. So we're going to talk about how intolerant we are as individuals in general. So guys, I'm going to say with a Google search of what are pet aversions. Pet aversions are minor annoyances that an individual identifies as particularly irritating to them to a greater degree than would be expected based on the experience of others. This is the Wikipedia definition of pet aversions, guys, so go check it out. Also, I think it's kind of sad because I don't know why this term is called pet peeves, because of one thing I'm super passionate about is animals. So I wish they'd given this another term, but anyway, moving on. I actually read this article yesterday on Huffington Post about the meaning of the word peeve, and the word peeve actually comes from this older word called peevish, which actually means easily irritated. So guys,
Which I am because she keeps on stating facts and not telling us about her pet
no,
peeves.
you're annoying.
No, you are
and
annoying.
And guess what, guys? Pet aversions existed since the early 15th century. They were, of course, known as peevish, but yes, guys, people found things annoying since many centuries. So moving on.
वाह वाह, what a riveting fact. So guys, शुक्रिया. पीपीटी हो चुका है. नित्या प्लीज शुरू कीजिए. तो नाश्ता लग चुका है. प्लीज खा के जाइएगा. नमस्कार.
Okay, friends. So guys, there are quite a few things I find annoying. I never thought that I'll have so many things to share with you guys, but I'm going to be super transparent with you. Please bear with me, and I'm going to spill them all in this episode. And don't think that I'm an intolerant person. But yeah, I guess you might feel that way. So I'm terrible at convincing. So starting with number 1. I think one of the most annoying things I find is when people put freshly washed hands, like when they imprint their washed hands on their t-shirt.
Guys, what she means is wet hands. Wet hands. That's what she means.
Yeah, I know, like freshly washed hands, because like the hands are dripping with water and they'll just imprint it on your t-shirt. It triggers me, it tickles my nerves, and something just happens to me. It drives me crazy. I don't know what it is.
No,
but
I totally get it. I totally get that.
Super annoying.
Even I don't like wet hands, or even if I drink water and I spill water on myself, I just don't like that. I hate that. I like aside from washing myself and taking a shower, I don't like getting any of my clothes or myself wet. That's it. I just hate that.
Yeah. So moving on, talking about my second pet peeve, which is, I'm sure a lot of you have experienced this, but have you seen those Instagram bios that people write about the status of the relationship?
Yeah.
And they'll take it to the next level with the taken with a heart and then the ring emoji tagging the person they're engaged to, or the committed to and tagging the person that they're dating.
Nitya,
I don't know, why do you have to do that?
I think we were on the same page when you said I hate the Insta bios and people write something and something, and then you went down the other path. I hate people when they write cake murderer or I cut cake on this, and all that stuff. I hate that. I generally do. But ये वाला चीज तो कुछ ज़्यादा specifically personal हो गया. So I think it's just Nitya.
It is my pet aversion. I just find it super weird, like and annoying.
I think Nitya is बहुत ही lonely and she needs someone.
Yeah, Nitya is very lonely and therefore Manas is doing this podcast with her.
Yeah.
So that talks about how lonely he is.
नहीं.
In life.
Manas is आत्मनिर्भर. #आत्मनिर्भर, guys.
Manas is very self-sufficient in life and he's sorted. So, of course, here only I am the mess. So, yeah, next pet peeve. This is something I think poets will understand. Since I've entered the world of poetry and I came out with my poetry account in May, oh my god, it literally triggers me when, especially on Instagram or any other digital platform for poetry like Miraki. Why do people write poetry in SMS language? Why? Save SMS language for texts, but please don't use words like cause for because or have ka e kha jao. Like, guys, please retain your vocabulary for poetry and please don't dilute the essence of poetry with SMS language. Just don't. It hurts, guys. It hurts. Big time.
I think I'll agree with major portion of the audience that poetry in general is very annoying. So my pet peeve, another pet peeve is poetry.
Excuse me?
Yeah, excused.
So, guys, also, I think, okay, now this is definitely subjective, but I think the weather has a huge impact on our reactions and responses to a large extent. I mean, the magnitude of irritability and anger increases in July and August because the monsoons arrive like this month that we are undergoing, and this constantly like sweat trickling down from all directions. You might tend to snap for like trivial matters, especially like when I have a long therapeutic shower and the days I shampoo my hair and use some amazing face serum and I've like completely pampered myself and I step out of the bathroom with my towel is drenched, not with water but with sweat. Because the humidity, the serum is dripping from my face. How do you expect me to be optimistic about things after that? I mean, I know people have bigger problems in
And
life.
Nitya Beti, आजकल ना there is this thing called fan and AC. People use it whenever they feel hot or something. Na, they use it.
Yeah, but लेकिन bathroom में AC नहीं होता and like while you're wearing your clothes, like literally there's so much of sweat gathering. It's so
Are you telling me
uncomfortable.
one second? Are you telling me
And
the person who sweats throughout the year?
yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, you've got hyperhidrosis. We know that. And I don't know about you, Manas, but monsoon season, I would love watching the rain from my window, but I hate stepping out during monsoon season. I just don't like the feeling of, like the feeling of my shoes or my slippers touching mud and this rotten smell comes. I just
I
don't like
totally agree with
monsoon
you.
season.
I don't like like, I don't like getting wet in general. Like for instance, when you run to a car and it's drizzling or something, and it gets so annoying, you're a little damp, and then there's weird smell that's like
There's this musty smell in your home, like even when things are lying wet.
I don't like that
And
honestly.
the worst part is when you step out of your car and like your specs are all foggy and you can't see anything. Like those are the
And
worst
you think car
feelings.
is the worst? Have you ever traveled in public transport where everyone is wet and it's on another level. It's on
And everybody's shoulders are touching each other.
shoulders,
Oh
arms,
man.
everything. The water on their body is dripping on your body.
Yeah, okay, that's not a very good sight graphically. It just gives me bad visuals, disturbing visuals actually.
You're welcome.
So yeah, monsoon season definitely not my scene. I don't know, there's nothing exciting or even romantic. I don't know why people get so
And
excited.
I'll go one step further. I don't like rain and winters. It's the worst combination ever. Like I like Delhi ki sardi, but I don't like rain and cold together.
I might agree with you about the rains and winters,
Like it's
but guys,
but and that's
winters
the
are
reason, and that's
beautiful.
a major reason I'm not moving to London is because
हाँ हाँ
you
हाँ.
know too cold, too damp, not very cheerful, so that's why मैं सोचा कि मैं गुड़गांव में रहेगा, मैं लंदन नहीं जाएगा.
And Manas has decided to keep this accent for the rest of the episode. So, but guys, I mean, please don't you agree with me? Winters are amazing. You have to literally just wash your hair once in 4 days. You can go for amazing walks in any time of the day. When you wash your hair and you sit in the sun, like oh my god, that morning sun and that afternoon sun is
I
so
just love
therapeutic.
going to washroom during winters and you get wet and it's all cold. Love it.
Okay, there are few drawbacks. Like the worst is when you are sitting completely cozy in your bed under your blanket, sipping your hot chocolate, and the need to go to the loo because because you don't sweat in winters, so you tend to go to the loo more
Talk
often.
about yourself.
Oh my god, and you literally hold it because you don't want to get out of your blanket and go to the loo, and you're just so uncomfortable. So yeah, seriously, that is one drawback, but otherwise I think everything is perfect about winters. I love winter vegetables and just
We are
everything
talking
about
about pet
winters.
aversion, so please can you stick to the topic, ma'am?
Yeah, okay. So sorry. Winter just do something to me. So, guys, back to things that annoy me. I guess this is something which matches the amount of annoyance I have when people put their wet hands on me, which is toilet seats, guys. I remember when I was in school, I probably used a school washroom maybe like 3 or 4 times in my life. Otherwise, I had the super capacity of holding it for 4 to 5 hours. I know it's not a good habit, but I could not stand going to any loo which had wet toilet seats, and that's why if I even visit somebody's home and the toilet seat is wet or the toilet is unhygienic, or I know your toilet habits which are not clean, we are not having a sleepover at your place. We are done. So
I think I
so
totally
yeah,
agree with you.
please work
See,
on
it's the
that.
same thing with me. But you know what's the funny thing is, guys, I'm gonna reveal one of my, very intimate detail is that I never used public washroom ever till I started going to college. And even in college, because like it used to be 4 hour commute, and it was very annoying for me, and I had to take class and all that, and so I had to find a washroom which nobody used like ever, and sometimes I would use staff washroom.
How did you manage? Like, of course, when nobody was looking, I guess that was the only way
No,
you
no, no.
could.
I just knew where the least famous department where like they had the
The
where they
least
had
famous. And what
yeah.
department was that?
I cannot mention. They might sue me.
It's
I'm
too
into
late. You've
legal.
already graduated. They can't do anything now.
Oh, they can. Anyway, and like I can hold like for instance, I'll tell you. I don't know, my body and my brain function so well. Hashtag Atmanirbhar. Like if I know the conditions are not good, I just won't have to poop. I won't pee at all. But if I'm at home, I have to pee the moment if there's an urge, I have to pee right then and there. But like when I used to go to school, I can hold it up to like 10 hours easily without any problem.
You have capacity, man. And I think the next aversion is again something which Manas and I can collectively relate to because we've experienced this a couple of times together, which is the point when people make plans together a week in advance and then people cancel the plan on the day of the meeting.
Oh my God,
Oh my
so
god.
annoying.
Unless it's not an emergency, please tell us a couple of days in advance or even like a day in advance because I actually make the effort of prioritizing our meeting and shifting my schedule according to our plans.
Dude,
So,
Nitya, it's so annoying. It gets so annoying. And we're talking about you, Sahil. We're not taking the last name due to legal reason.
okay, we are playing dirty here because this is our last episode. So,
Yeah,
sab chalta
and
hai.
like it's so annoying. See,
Hi, Sahil.
for instance, see, it's very whenever I make any sort of plans, be it call or I'm meeting them in a person or whatever, like I prioritize that, and I make my plans, I make my schedule accordingly. Like मेरे को अब निकलना है, I have to do all the stuff before this, and I have to come back, I have to do this stuff, and when that person calls and like without any reason, it gets very annoying. It gets very annoying. So I can relate to that so much.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it
much.
hurts that people just casually just kind of don't even tell you as if it's not a big deal. And here you are like canceling your plans, skipping lunch,
क्योंकि
and
उनको
making
एवेंजर
sure that
मूवी
you meet
देखना
the
था.
person. Okay, major passive aggressive feelings right now.
Oh
So
my
we
God.
are not going to say anything further about you, Sahil, because we still hope that we are friends even after this episode. so
Oh my God.
so yeah, that's one thing. And also on Instagram, I've experienced this with my poetry account, that people give repetitive comments. And I'm referring to certain
This is
accounts.
first world
Yeah.
problems where people are like कि मेरे को comment ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं, मेरे को नहीं चाहिए. This is absurd.
That is not my point. I'm not saying मेरे को comments ज़्यादा आ रहे हैं. In fact, I hardly get any comments. But my point is that there are these certain accounts I've seen that, once I got this really touching comment on one of my poems, which was like literally the comment was literally the most amazing post of the day. So I was so touched. And then I realized the same account has given the same comment in the next 15 poetry
So,
accounts I
Nitya,
had
they find
checked.
happiness very easily and everything
So
touches them. They're sensitive people. Move on.
no, these are people who do not read your poetry. They just comment because they want more followers. So I'm just like, guys, keep the comment genuine. Either comment because you really like my post, or just don't comment. It's okay. It's fine. I'm a big
Guys, if
girl.
you're that person who's commenting like same thing on every post, please come to my post. Like I'm more than happy if even if you comment the most absurd thing, not related, out of the context. I'm totally
Yeah, Manas
fine.
is super
I
desperate,
need
so he needs all
engagement,
the
man. Like
comments.
मेरे को दे दो जैसा भी चाहिए जो भी है कर दो comment. It's totally fine.
So okay, so I've mentioned a lot of things that annoy me, but this is, I think, one of the few things which, now that I remember, this experience of going to the movie theaters, and you're all comfortable with your popcorn and the film has started, and suddenly there'll be these two or three jerks who'll just unlock their phone. Like, if it's an emergency that you're texting, calling, completely understandable, but they're generally just scrolling through their feed with their
Oh
brightness
my
on an
God.
all-time high, and that's burning your retina. You cannot enjoy your film, and it just
You
makes
know
it such
what's
an unpleasant
unpleasant?
experience. I mean, you have an interval to text
See,
and just
one thing is,
scroll.
you can shut your eyes, but you know what's annoying? When the person sitting next to you takes over the armrest after the interval. They're like, I don't have any space to put my drink, so can I put in this armrest and I'll take it for the rest of my movie? I have the other armrest also, so I'll
Yeah.
take this also, and then
Yeah, even I've experienced that. That's pretty
and you
annoying.
know what's more annoying is that you cannot control the temperature. So throughout, like by the end of the movie, you're not watching the movie. You are like, am I breathing? Is my heart still beating? Like, am I that cold?
Yeah, I mean, you can carry a shawl.
See, I can pull off the shawl look on in summers. But what about other people? It's very difficult, Nitya. It's not very easy to plan your
This is
outfit.
the height of being delusional. You feel that you can carry off a shawl. But yeah, keep dreaming.
That's why you have 500
So
followers and I don't.
okay. Okay. So Manas, I have like revealed all my pet peeves like I mentioned earlier. What about yours? I think we're all dying to know what are your pet peeves.
Very simple. Doing this podcast with you. Sorry.
मैं अभी अभी तेरे शक्ल पे मैं अभी अपना ये स्टॉप और पॉज करके मैं ना यहाँ से जा रही हूँ एकदम.
अच्छा जाने से पहले कैन यू प्लीज शेयर द ऑडियो
एक घंटा ऑडियो अपने पेट पीव शेयर कर लेना तुम अपने सेपरेटली ऑडियो में. मैं नहीं, आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू कंट्रीब्यूट एनीथिंग.
So guys, now that we have successfully eliminated Nitya out of this podcast, as you asked me and
Even
demanded me
Nitya has
multiple times.
audacity, and even she has some editing
Oh, she's
skills,
still
so
here.
even
Sorry
she can
guys.
know how to post stuff anyway.
She's still here. I know. How annoying. Anyway, jokes apart. So my pet peeves. Are you ready, Nitya?
No.
So my first pet peeve is people with double standards, aka hypocrites.
AKA
Uh,
Manas. The synonyms are there on Google search. You'll just find it correlating to his name every
I
time.
challenge you to look up Manas because in German it means psych. And South in one of
Which
the
you do not
cities,
have.
and in
Okay.
one of these South Indian languages, you would know it means brain, smart.
Which you lack. Oh my, this is amazing. Every meaning that Manas means is something you
Moving
lack.
on, we are talking about my pet peeves. So I'll tell you how like double standard people are annoying. Like obviously I don't need to give any instances, but still. Like for instance, people who cannot take jokes but would love to prank others, and when it comes to them, and they'll be like, "यार ये क्या होता है? ऐसे नहीं कर सकते." Yes,
Yeah, like
what is?
when you meet people like who just are terrible at laughing at themselves, but they just know how to mock other people. It's then it's not fun like joking with them because it's always one-sided.
Like how I live my life. I am the kind of person with motto. Treat other people how you want to be treated. So if I'm joking with
Oh
someone, I'm
God.
okay to take the joke. I don't take offended or some. So I'll tell you another example. Some people hate when other people chew with their mouth open, or they just make noise, not noise, like very normal noise when they chew, like a normal human being. But when they do that, it's like, what noise?
Yeah, like you're not even allowed to breathe. You're breathing too loudly. You're talking too loudly. But when it applies to them, then well, the rules change completely.
Exactly. And like another kind of people I hate. It's just not about pet peeves. It's about people who annoy.
It's about the people Manas hates in
Yeah,
life.
like I'm above small things. Like Nitya is like, oh my god, गीले हाथ नहीं. I'm like इंसान, गीला इंसान नहीं पसंद मुझे. So
It's like you've shaded the entire person. मैंने सिर्फ हाथ shade किए.
तू नहा कर आया, disgusting. Get away from me.
That's funny.
Another kind of people I hate are, for instance, when you're wrong and the first step is that you're supposed to admit and then you're supposed to work on that problem. There are kind of people who get stuck on the first step. They're like, मेरी गलती है, मैंने admit किया. And they wear that thing as a badge of honor and they take it on their pride. हाँ मैंने admit किया मैं कितना बड़ा इंसान हूँ.
That is I think a very dangerous place to be in, because you can literally get away with anything by just having that one filter in your mind, that oh yeah, I killed this person, but at least I admitted that I did,
I know.
therefore I am the bigger man, because I have admitted I'm a murderer and others haven't, so therefore I should be
कर
respected.
दिया मैंने मौत उसकी, अब वो वापस तो आने नहीं वाला मेरे, बट मैंने मान तो लिया ना. What else do you want, man? मेरा लाइफ चाहिए क्या तेरे को? Too much, man. And another category of people I hate is people who lack empathy. Limited perspective people.
Guys, there is a very fine line, but there's a huge difference between sympathy and empathy. Even though they end with pathies, but they mean very different things.
Oh my god. So, for instance, some poor person is struggling, and they don't have money and all that. And, they're just struggling in their life. And some, privileged rich person be like, अरे पैसे डाल यार तेरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया. कितना इजी है. तू इतना दुखी तो बिना बात का तू दुखी है. ऐसा तू कैसा इंसान.
What is the Marathi accent that you have for these situations?
I don't want to go
Because
into that. That's like
that's
another
really
pet peeve
weird.
of mine.
Okay. This reminds me of one of the stand-up comedians I'd watched, I think a few weeks back, Abhishek Upamanyu. He's one of my all-time favorites. Loved you, Abhishek.
Love
So
you.
in that, there was this hilarious episode about people in South Bombay, and
Sober people.
about what?
Sober people. South Bombay.
Yeah. So about how he meets, this lady, and I don't remember the exact situation, but it's something to the effect of how he asks her how do I reach Nasik from Pune. She's like, simple, just take a flight and go and reach, because
Oh my
he's
god.
like, अच्छा इसको लगा कि ये पैसे तो होंगे इसके पास, बस मतलब माध्यम नहीं जानता कि पहुंचना कैसे है.
Oh my god.
You assume that the person has money. It's not that, maybe that he did not check Google, and maybe his internet's not working, maybe that's why he's asked her. So
अरे
it
it's
was.
the same thing ना कि अच्छा तेरे को डिप्रेशन है तो सैड है तो खुश हो जा. पानी पी ले, घूमा, खत्म.
सो जा, सब ठीक हो जाएगा. अरे इट्स जस्ट ऑल इन योर हेड यार. आई मीन,
Oh my
अब
god.
अब तुम अब तुम अकेले बैठोगे रूम में तो ऑब्वियसली डिप्रेशन होगा. लोगों से मिल, सब ठीक हो जाएगा यार. इतना सोच मत.
Oh my god. And last,
Yeah.
last, not last, last for this episode is people who cannot be reasoned. मैं ही सही हूँ और सब गलत है. Like I totally understand if you have some sort of faith, if you believe in some sort of ritual, culture, tradition, or whatever. But if you try to reason with them, they're like oh my god. Then they fear ki, they're going to lose that challenge, and they're like they get really agitated and aggressive. And the last I forgot, sorry guys, last people I hate is who view the stories, who listen to the podcast and do not like or comment or do anything on our podcast page on Instagram. Like, what's up? Kya hai?
I think he's referring to our dear friend
Sahil, we
Sahil.
saw you. You watched our story
So
and you did not like or follow our page. Buddy, momos khane next time.
hunger strike नहीं जा रहे हम. Guys, Hunger Strike is not sponsoring this episode. Just FYI.
But if you want to
So
hunger strike, you can sponsor us anytime.
anytime, like anytime, just don't hesitate.
Yeah. And I guess with this, guys, we have completed our list and our final episode of season 1. And if you want to, give us any sort of suggestion or, like topics you want us to talk about in the next season, guys, next season, we'll do that.
Yeah, guys, just feel free to send any of your suggestions or feedback or constructive criticism. Slide in a DM on the AurBata podcast on our Instagram account. And you can send us an email, a good old-fashioned email on the aurbatapodcast@gmail.com, and we will definitely respond to your comments. And stay tuned for season 2, and we really hope that you liked season 1. So yeah, guys, be generous with the comments and feedback.
Until then, see ya later.